Hi guys, today I'm going to be repotting this Chinese maple from its plastic growing pot into its ceramic bonsai pot. So first thing you're going to need is this piece of mesh. You can use any piece of mesh really, just so that your soil and roots don't go through the bottom. And then yeah, so starting with your soil that you're going to need, I generally use a normal compost with some river sand. So that's my river sand, and I'm going to use just a handful, just 2 handfuls, just so that we can mix that in there, just so that it's nice, well draining soil. And then yeah, when it starts looking more or less like that, you know that it's very well draining. So we'll just pop our first little layer on there. So that first little layer I'm just gonna pop down, right? So that's our first little layer, and then we take our tree out of the pot that it's in. I generally just squeeze the sides, shake it until the actual tree comes out, and then remove a lot of your soil so that you can start exposing some of that root. You don't want to be exposing too much of the root system. I mean, I've got a lot of this exposed. I think I repotted this tree into this grain pot the other day from another pot, so the roots haven't really taken to that as yet. But yeah, so we've actually got quite a bit of an exposed root system. Don't necessarily take this much soil off of your root system, because you can stress your plants out or actually just kill it straight up. Yeah, so we're gonna pop that root system in there, right? That's all in there. You can see it's all in. And then once we've got that, we'll take our soil and start popping it around, our bonsai mix, and start popping it around, right? And you actually want to, because all of your root system was out, you want to pack it quite tight. So pop that in there and just squish it down so that it's quite tight inside there. It's very well drained soil, so this compacting it like this isn't going to like waterlog it or anything like that. So it's quite necessary, especially if you've got very well drained soil, which you should have, so that when you water your plant, it drains through within seconds, because you want that root system to get entirely wet. You don't want it to, you don't want to water and then like only half of it gets wet, because it's so clumped up inside, you know. But yeah, so that's that. We've got that nicely potted there, right? So I didn't even show you, this is the front of the tree. This is where I'm looking at, is the front of the tree, over here. And then yeah, we'll actually, this might be the front. So the reason why I actually decided this is the front of the tree is because this branch is growing out that way, so it's giving it more of a 3D dimension. And then yeah, so this branch over here is going to have to come off, because it is growing right on top of this one over here, and this one over here I want to keep as my lower branch in my triangle shape. So we always start our shaping with a triangle shape, right? So this over here comes off. Yeah, so I know my hands are very dirty. Let's grab a piece of wire. So I know we've done wiring, so I'm just going to quickly wrap some wire in this one. So we pop it right next to the tree, wrap it around, and then here where I get to the first branch, this is the branch that I'm trying to wire. So remember, we always hold your fingers on both sides of the wire so that we don't snap the branch that we are trying to wire up. Alright, and I'm going to cut off that excess wire there, and then pop our branch down, right? And then I'd like that branch to also come to the side there. So where's my wire? It's more. So what I was measuring there, how I was looking at it, is just so that it can reach from the bottom up until this branch here. Yeah, so we're going to pop it right next to that last piece of wire that we had there, and let it follow what we had going with this other piece for the other branch. Right, I'll come to the top here and round. Right, and then I want this branch all the way that side. Right, there we go. So there's your bonsai. So I also like to play around with it when I do repot. So like this one over here is a snow rose that I did recently that I'm wanting to grow out for the next, let's say, 5 years or so, just so it can thicken out over here. And then we're gonna thicken out these branches, but that's like a nice artistic view on it. And then this one as well, so this is also a snow rose that I found a nice log that we popped the root system inside of this, so it's growing through there and then out the bottom over here into this pot. Yeah, and then I'm going to be growing this for, let's say, the next 5-10 years. I know it sounds like a long time, but some of these are some of my personal trees that I'll be growing out just to show you guys how they'll be looking over the next few years. Yeah. And then also why I've got this one sitting next to me is I wanted to show you the root of a rock. So this is a root of a rock forest style, and then it's a windswept forest. So you can see it's forest with all of its branches here. It's windswept, so it's all being blown this side, and then it's also a raft style. So this is one tree that I had put on its side and then grown all of its branches up this side, that they're in individual trees. And then it's growing over this rock, so that's why you can see all this mud over here. Actually, I was going to take this off here so that you can see these little roots growing here, the fibrous roots that's growing off of these larger roots. So let me just expose this guy over here. All right, so you can see there's some larger roots over here that are going to start at some point attaching itself to this rock as they grow. So it will start growing over that, and then we won't have to have this clay type mud on top of it. The reason why I've got this on top is just so that the fibrous roots can grow and the other roots that are there can grow and just attach itself to the rock. Yeah.